This is Hockey Talk, episode number 8, where we talk about everything hockey. We are recording on May the 2nd, and I am John.
And I'm Mike.
All right, Mike, let's go. Our first topic. Believe it or not, Mike, I watched Kuznetsov score on a penalty shot the other night with what I guess is his signature move. Now, I've never seen him do this, but the way some of the announcers were talking about it, he's done this before.
Yeah.
This is in Game 5 against the Islanders. It was as slow as molasses going uphill on a very cold day, but I guess he scored. That's what counts. Mike, do you believe that because Kuznetsov scored like this, it could catch on and others may try to do the same thing? Because I'm going to tell you, it's pretty annoying to watch as a fan.
Very slow paced. Yeah. I'm not sure that other guys, I think most players feel that coming in with a little bit more speed is going to catch the goalie out of position or get him out of position when they're coming in with a little bit more speed. So I'm not sure we're going to see too many players do the type of thing that Kuznetsov does. I mean, he's been doing it for a while. I mean, it's the same thing, and he's been successful with it. But
Do you have any idea how often he scores on that? I never looked it up.
no,
So.
not offhand. I know the last time he did it, it was against the Capitals that he did because he had got a penalty shot, or I think it was in a shootout actually when they played the Capitals,
Okay.
and he didn't score. So, his former team, maybe they just knew his tricks. So who knows? But I don't know his numbers as far as when he does this move. But I mean, yeah, it's something that's worked for him. So he's going to continue to do it. So.
Okay, well, fair enough. I didn't care much for it. I hadn't seen it before. I was kind of surprised when I did see it, but if it works for him, I guess, why not do it, right? I'm sure the coaches don't mind. So,
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, should a rule be introduced so that you can't take a penalty shot in this way? And even if they did introduce some rule, I don't even know. Could you even enforce such a thing? I don't know. But just in case any of our listeners out there is interested, there has been a total of 90 penalty shots taken in the playoffs all time in the NHL. There was 3 taking in 2023 playoffs, and just to let you know, I counted them. 29 of the 90 have been goals. So less than 1/3 of penalty shots in the playoffs have been scored on. So what do you think, Mike? Do you think there should be a rule, or who cares? Just let it be.
Well, I mean, they currently have a rule where you need to have continuous forward motion. So I know that when
Kuznetsov
he
did.
does it,
Yeah.
it's borderline forward motion. However, that rule's already in place, so I don't think that they're really going to change that. The only way they could is if they put like a time frame on how long
Oh,
you
yeah.
have to make a shot. That's the only thing that I can see. And I mean, who knows if they would do something like that? So
Right.
it might just stick with what it is. I mean, it's been like this for a while now. I know in the past, you'd have some players that would maneuver themselves so they're skating laterally and that sort of stuff. So um, as long as there's forward motion, I don't think that the NHL is really going to do anything about it. So,
Right.
but the referees can waive it off if they feel that the player skated backwards or whatnot, which is why I don't believe they're allowed to do like spinoramas and stuff like that on penalty shots
Right.
because it's backwards motion. So I don't think they're going to really change this one though.
Okay. And no one's really talking about changing
No,
anything. I
no,
had
I don't
never
think
heard
there's any
anything
talk
about it.
going on for that. So
All right. Well, let's get on to the second topic for the evening. So on Sunday, April the 18th, the Canucks were down to the Predators 3-1. There was 2:49 left in the game. The Canucks looked dead to the hockey world. They looked dead on the water big time. They scored 2 goals in the second one with 8 seconds left. They won the game in overtime about a minute in. Mike, did the Canucks have any right to win that game at all?
well, it's tough to say. I was watching the game and I didn't think they were going to win the game, and it was 3-1. I got up to go let the dogs out. I come back and I'm like, what? Tied? So I didn't even see what had happened for the final 2 goals, and then they won in overtime. So I mean, And here's the thing, and I know I discussed this before when we had talked about, could the Canucks win without Demko in nets? And I'm like,
Right. Yes.
you know, they needed Pedersen and Lindholm to step their games up, and the whole team had to tighten up because clearly the goaltending isn't as going to be as good. And I mean, so far it seems like it's kind of worked out that way. Pedersen's gotten a couple of points. I mean, Lindholm actually got some points in the last game as well.
Yeah, he did. Yes.
So, did he get the overtime winner?
I believe so. I
Yeah,
think
I
it
thought he
was.
had the overtime winner. So I mean, who knows? Maybe that's what sparks him to play a little bit better. But yeah, so I mean, I was a little surprised Vancouver won the game, considering they didn't look like they were going to win the game, and then Saros was playing really well, and then all of a sudden, the game's over. So
2 goal lead is not safe enough these days, I guess.
yeah, apparently not.
And I made a mistake. I said April the 18th. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be April the 28th. I don't think that was April the 18th that
Okay,
that happened.
yeah,
So,
yeah, you're right.
okay. Anyway, so the third topic, Mike, I have to bring up the Leafs and the Bruins, of course. I love the Leafs, and
Uh,
I just wanted to talk about this. On April the 30th, everyone, and I mean everyone, said the Leafs were done. Matthews was hurt. The team had no chance. I was saying at work that they would win game 5, and they did with Woll and net. The series could be over before this episode's even released, but I just want to propose a hypothetical. If the Leafs win game 6, and I believe that they're going to, wouldn't all the pressure be on Boston? I mean, think about it. Can Boston afford to lose 2 series in 2 years in a row while they're up 3 games to 1? I mean, wouldn't that be rattling around in the back of their head a little bit if Toronto won game 6? And I know it's a big hypothetical, and what do you think?
yeah, absolutely. The pressure's all on Boston. I think it might all be on Boston already, especially if it gets to a game 7 after last year when they you know lost after being up 3-1. I think the pressure is totally on Boston, and you know they in this series they started off with the goalie rotation and now they stuck to just Swayman, and
Yeah,
it was something that I said I didn't think they should do, and so far it's they're up 3-2, but if they end up losing this series, it's going to get discussed again. Why did they switch from going to the goalie rotation to just relying on one goalie? So definitely all the pressure is on Boston, I think, especially where they've changed their style a little bit when it came to the goalie rotation. Um,
right.
but it's a little surprising Toronto won the last game without Matthews. I think he was someone they need to have in their lineup to win the games, and I don't know if they're going to win 2 in a row without him, but he's not going to play tonight. Who knows? Game 7, if there is one, maybe he'll get back in the lineup. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Right, right. Well, I mean, it's interesting anyway. And obviously, Boston is in the driver's seat. They're up 3 games to 2. So, I
Yeah,
mean, the chances of them not winning the series is quite low, I would say. But hey, being a Leafs fan, I can hope at least. And I saw something out of Toronto
yeah.
winning a 2-1 game, which I haven't seen them do in a while. So it was nice seeing that. So,
Right.
all right. Well, let's go on to the fourth topic. The Oilers advanced past the Kings last night, and it wasn't close. I mean, the series wasn't close. As a rule, the Kings play a stifling defense, but they could not figure out the Oilers' special teams. The Oilers were 9 for 20 on the power play. 9 for 20. That's a 45% efficiency, and they were 12 for 12 on the penalty kill. The Oilers play the winner of the Canucks and Predators series next. Can either of these teams stop the Oilers' power play? I mean, I know you're talking about Tampa's power play, but Tampa didn't get to go on the power play a whole lot in that other series. But what about this power play? Can they be stopped?
Well, I don't know if it can be stopped. However, I think if they, I think they're going to win their next series. If they play Vancouver, I think they're going to win. If they play Nashville, I think they're going to win. So it's tough to stop a team that's that potent on the power play, and I'm not surprised that they knocked the Kings out quickly. I mean,
Well,
I
it's
had thought
exactly
they
what you
would right off
said.
the get go.
Yeah.
So I think that the next team that they play, Vancouver or Nashville, they're in trouble. I think Edmonton's gonna win that series as well.
Okay. All right. I mean, I can't blame you for saying that. So I didn't know until I looked it up that the Oilers were 12 for 12 on the penalty kill.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
I
pretty
didn't
darn
know
good.
that they were 12 for 12 either, but I don't think they were that good in the regular season. So
No, they were not.
yeah,
They were not. Okay, well, let's go on to our fifth and basically our final topic for this evening. What do these matchups look like in round two, Mike? I know that we have an idea of what some of them are going to be. We could kind of go with the teams that are up 3-2 right now. What do you think about these matchups? Who do you think has the advantage here?
yeah. So Edmonton would be playing Vancouver or Nashville, so we can start
Right.
there since we were just talking about it. I think Edmonton wins that series probably in 5 games. Um, then it would be if Dallas wins, they would be playing the Colorado.
Colorado.
Yeah, so that should be, if Dallas wins, I think that series is going to be a little bit closer. I still think Colorado wins that game or wins that series, probably in 6 games. Then when you look at the Eastern Conference, right now it's the Rangers against the Hurricanes.
Yep.
That is probably the toughest series to pick a winner, in my opinion, because I think both teams are very, very good and very evenly matched. But I will go out and say I'll pick the Rangers in 7. Although if Carolina wins, I would not be shocked whatsoever. But I'll pick the Rangers in 7 for that one. And then we've got Florida against the winner of Boston and Toronto. And I think Florida's going to win this series, regardless of who they play, probably in 6 games. And I wouldn't be shocked if it was 5. I just think that the Florida team is too strong. And with Boston and Toronto already into game 6 with a potential game 7, I just think they might be too tired. I mean, they've thrown out a lot of hits in this series. And
They have.
I mean, Florida's getting some rest. So I don't think that either one of those teams can beat Florida.
Right, right. Well, and I don't believe, for what it's worth, that Toronto is or Florida's a good matchup for Toronto either. I don't think they're a good
Right,
match at all. I think Boston's a better match for Toronto than Florida is, but anyway, for what it's worth.
right.
So, okay, well, I want to ask you something else, Mike. So, do you really think that Dallas is going to win 4 games in a row? I mean, after they were down 2-0, I mean, that was not looking good for Dallas at all. Those games were not really close.
Yeah.
Now they've won 3 in a row. Are they going to win this series in 6 games, or is
Well,
are the Knights going to come out and say, "Oh no, we're going to take this to 7. We're going to make it a 7 gamer here"?
Well, like I said when we were doing our original predictions, the teams are very evenly matched up, with the exception of goaltending, in my opinion. And the last few games that Dallas has won, they've won each game by 1 goal, I
Yep,
believe.
that's
So
right. Yes,
it comes down to that. The goalie that can win those 1 goal games. And I think Ottinger's far superior. Than it doesn't matter who who Vegas puts in net. Ottinger's a better goalie than either one. So uh, yeah, so I'm surprised they came back and won 3 in a row. However, as I said, they were my original pick to win that series. So
right,
so
right.
far, it's
Well, well, you stuck with them. I mean, they were down 2-0, and you said right here on one of our episodes, you said, "No, I'm sticking with Dallas, even though they're down 2-0." Not many people would have. A lot of people would have, changed ships right there. You didn't. So,
right.
just one other quick thing here. I mean, your predictions are really looking good. I mean, what you've said is really coming true here. What do you think about that? Maybe you should have put some money on this in Vegas or
Yeah,
something.
I should have. I should have went down to Vegas and threw some money on them. But yeah, so out of the 5 series that have been decided so far, I've gotten all of those correct. I probably didn't have all the games specifically correct, but
You're pretty darn close, though.
Yeah, I think so. But I picked all the winners for the 5 series that are already determined, and currently the teams that are winning 3-2 are the teams that I picked to win as well. So, we'll see what happens. Not sure if you're watching the game right now, but Toronto just scored. So,
I'm not watching it yet. I always turn the
oh,
TV
I didn't
off while
want to
we're doing
spoil it
this.
for you, but
I don't want to be distracted while we're doing
okay,
this, so I
yeah,
want to
I
pay
can see it
attention to
out of the
what I'm
corner of
doing.
my eye there. So,
Awesome.
but,
Well,
yeah. So
let's. Oh, go ahead, Mike. Go ahead if
no,
you're
no,
saying.
that's no, I'm good.
Well, I want to say goodbye, Mike. I think we should say goodbye to the Islanders. Bye, Islanders. You're done for the season. Too bad. See you later. Even though I picked you in 7, you buggers. Bye bye. And the Tampa Bay Lightning. Bye bye. I mean, we'll see you
Yeah,
next year. The Washington Capitals as well. I mean, they're bye bye. So,
yeah,
I mean, hopefully these teams can do better next year, but they're not going to do any more this year.
yeah,
So I want everybody out there that does listen to us to let us know where we went wrong. Go to the comments and tell us. That's what they're for. Like, share, and subscribe. And everyone, we will see you next week. All right. Bye. Later.
see you later.